AI algorithms that are informed use some type of knowledge, like estimated time or even straight line distance. We've read, listened, watched and studied other sources to identify the best way to clearly explain informed search algorithms. As you've seen with our previous videos, the uninformed search goes through each of the nodes, looking at children nodes until it finds its goal. Now, informed search is different. We look at the children nodes, but they will have a value, and that value estimates how to get to the goal. So now we can look at which one's the smallest, the shortest, the least, and then we can use that information to decide our least cost path. That estimate to the goal is called a heuristic. Now let's use London attractions as an example. Here we're going from Buckingham Palace to Liverpool Street Rail Station via other tourist attractions. Now it's a bit more complicated than a tree, but let's use some information. Let's use a map to estimate the distances. Here's a map, central London, and we have our tourist attractions. Let's make them a bit bigger. Now we have the distance to our goal, Liverpool Street Station. We could see those attractions and we could see the distances. Now, from those arrows, we've made some estimates of the distance in kilometres. Doesn't really matter if they're correct, they're estimates. So let's have a look what happens now. So we've got our graph with our attractions. We're going to give them a number to make it a bit easier. We're going to go from 1 to 9. So you can see with our estimates of the distances to our goal, this is our graph that we're going to use. Now let's have a look at two approaches. The first approach, we're going to see the distance to the goal. Now, normally we're looking at cost, but here, what we call a function of n, is just the heuristic of n. Basically, we're just going to look at how far we've got to go to the goal and just use the heuristic. So that's approach 1. We're not looking at costs. So let's have a look. So we start off at number 1. We've got 2, 3 and 4. And the lowest value to the goal is 3.0, which is at node 4. Now we go to node 5, that's 2.6 kilometers away. And we look at the nodes from node 5, and node 8 is closest to the goal. So we use that, and here is our path from 1 to 4 to 5 to 8 to 9. So that's our path using approach 1. Now we have a path. We can look at our London map. Let's first of all look at the attractions. We can see the path from Buckingham Palace to Big Ben to the London Eye, St Paul's Cathedral to Liverpool Street Station. And on the map, and if we take away the attractions so it's just the map, you can see our path from Buckingham Palace to Liverpool Street Station on the map. Now approach 2, we're going to use the cost, which here is f of n, plus the heuristic. Let's have a look at that in approach 2. So here we have our graph with our heuristic values from each node, the distance from each node to the goal. Now in the light blue we can see the cost of moving from one node to another. So here we've got values of 1.0 going to node 2 and 3. So with the value 1.0 plus 3.1, the cheapest route at the moment would be via node 2. So if we go to the goal via node 2, we're going to go 3.1 kilometers from node 2, and we've already travelled 1 kilometer from 1 to 2. So the cheapest route, as far as we know at the moment, is from 1 to 2 to 9. Let's look at the children nodes, the other places we can go from node 2. Now we can see that node 5 has the cheapest route. We've got the costs of 1 and 1.5, which is 2.5 in total, plus their estimate of 2.6 to the goal, so the cheapest route is 5.1. Now we look at the children nodes from 5, we've got 8 and 7. So now we've got 1, 1.5 and 1.8 plus the 1.5 estimate. The cheapest route is 5.8. Well, that 1.5 estimate is correct. So the cheapest route from our start to their goal from 1 to 9 is via 2, 5 and 8. So that's our cheapest route. Again, we have our path, so let's have a look at our London attractions. We can see our path. Now the attractions, we can take away the magnification, and we can see on the map we go from Buckingham Palace, Trafalgar Square, London Eye, St Paul's Cathedral to Liverpool Street Station. You can see our least cost path, our shortest path on the map from our informed search. Well, in the future we'll look at these informed searches in detail. These include A-star search, greedy best search and others. These are coming soon.